Hello Hanji what's up people? Back with another video, and today we're previewing Ipswich Town versus Southampton. Before we get into anything, you know we got to do the shout outs. Massive shout outs to Angel Care Homes, to Mark Darcy, and of course the Desi Ballers. You should already know what they do. Their details are in the description. And like I say, each and every video, we're trying to grow the channel. So please give this video a thumbs up, by smashing the like button. If you ain't already, make sure you subscribe, turn the notifications on, and of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments. All the likes, the comments, all of that, it helps the YouTube voodoo, all the algorithm, and gets this content to more and more people. And hopefully, man, we'll grow this channel. So yeah, man, big up all you legends that have engaged with the channel over the last year and a half or so. Please continue, and big up all you new legends that have started in the comments as well, man. And speaking of legends, big up all these legends here that have financially supported the channel, which has allowed us to buy better hardware, better software, all that kind of stuff. And like I said, there's some moves we're going to be making over this season that, I'll be honest, it ain't going to be possible. It wouldn't have been possible without the support of all these legends that have donated via Ko-Fi. You can support too by using the Ko-Fi link. Again, the details are in the description. Let's get to it then. So Town hosts Southampton on Sunday, and I am not confident. I am not confident at all. This is a Southampton team that, they've done a bit of business in the summer. They've obviously been relegated, come back up as well. They know what it takes. They know how hard it was, albeit, yes, they did go through the playoffs when we went up that season. And it took them a while to kind of find form. And in that championship season, so in the last time we played him in the championship, we took 6 points off him. Sarmiento, we all talk about that. Broadhead, what a goal that was. We'll talk about Broadhead and Omari later. And obviously Leafy opened up the scoring that day, didn't he? And then obviously on the reverse fixture, Omari got the single goal that separated teams and gave us the 3 points. But the story wasn't the same in the Prem. And, how we lost at home to Southampton 2-1, I'll never know. The lap with the goal that day. And of course, we rescued a point, or Sammy rescued us a point back in September, was it, when we played them? But at their gaff earlier on in the season. So the last 2 meetings, we've only managed to take a point, whereas the season before, we took all 6. So something's changed. The pendulum the pendulum swung, and everything, to be honest, sits favourable with Southampton. In terms of Saints themselves, they obviously come back from it was a couple of late goals against Wrexham at their place. So, playing till the last minute, very much like us with Birmingham. The difference I understand is that, unlike us, where you could argue we were quite lucky to get away with the point or grab a point or whatever you want to call it, Southampton were good value for their win, and I think they deserved that win, is from what I'm seeing. So Southampton they haven't been that busy in the transfer market, but there's, we've seen Ramsdale, he's obviously gone to Newcastle. Kyle Walker-Peters, he's gone to, I think it was West Ham in the end, wasn't it? Benderak, who's gone to Porto. And I think it was the other lad. They had the striker, Onachua or something, Onachu. I think he's gone to somewhere in Turkey, hasn't he? So it's not the same, but then equally they've bought this Damien Downs from FC Cologne. They've bought Joshua Qureshi. That's how you say his name. Both signings come from the Bundesliga. If we look at their last league game here against Wrexham, and we'll put there up there, so we can see very much what seems to be a bit of a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1, depending on how you look at it. And it's that front three which worries me, to be honest. We know about Ryan Fraser. We know how good he is. He was, one of the players I really loved, and he's one of my favourite loan players, up there with Omari and Dos Santos. And Sixto Peralta. What a loan signing he was. If you're old enough to remember that, man, what a player he was. But yeah, Ryan Fraser looks a good player. We know about Adam Armstrong as well. So I think they both scored against us in that 3-2 win, wasn't it? They both scored the goals. And it was just, for me, it was how quick they broke, and the power and the speed and the pace. And this isn't a Russell Martin Southampton. This isn't a, I can't even think who the other guy was who they had last season. But this is Will Still, and he's a manager I rate really highly. You know, he was in France, I think. Can't remember what team was in France, but he's a young lad, young coach, and I think the French club had to pay certain fines if he managed or coached because he didn't have the right coaching qualifications. But the club were like, that's fine because he was getting the wins, and he was quite a sought after manager. He's someone that, you know, when McKenna eventually does leave and stuff, and we're looking at our shortlist on replacing and who would replace him, he's a name I'd be looking at, and I think he's got a very big future in the game. Obviously, it's quite early in his tenure. He's only had a couple of games with Southampton. It'd be quite good to see what he's like in English football. But he's got, I don't know, man. He's not just a coach, from my understanding. He's a very good man manager. This Will Still guy, for Southampton anyways, I guess he's instilling. Will is instilling a bit of belief in the Saints fans, I think is fair to say. For Town, here's how I think we'll line up. So again, usual formation, pretty much the same as Birmingham, if not the same. So I've gone for obviously Palmer in goal, right back Ashley Young, next to him Dara O'Shea. Next to him, I would keep, me personally, I would have bought Kipre in, but I can see Greaves staying. So you'd have Greaves, and then Leafy. I think Leaf obviously left back, you know, the only fit left back we've got. Midfield, I would like to see Jens and Azor Matsua. I think it'll be Azor and Taylor, and I think we'll probably see Jens come off the bench. And then this is where I struggle because on paper you think players like Jack Clark brilliant, but he's been so pants the last couple of games, like, and I don't think he wants to be here. So maybe put Schmodix on the left. I'm hearing Philogene should be back, so Philogene on the right, if not Bene, with Chaplin in the 10, and then you've got Akpom, who obviously can come off the bench as well. And then up top, gorgeous George Hurst. So yeah, that would be my team lineup. So in terms of score predictions and stuff, like I said, I ain't feeling too confident. I think we will turn a corner, but I'm not feeling confident. So I'm going to go for the best possible result I can think of, which is a 1-1. I think it'll be another draw. I said at the beginning of the season, before the Birmingham preview and all the rest of it, that, you know, as long as we can just not lose before the international break and just keep picking up a couple of draws or whatever, then that should be okay. And importantly, you know, Southampton, like I think Birmingham, are going to be a promotion rival. So, you know, we need to take points from them. So share the points or maybe take all three, but I just can't see us taking all three. So I'm going for a 1-1 score draw. So before we finish up, we just want to do a couple of big shout outs to two big Town players that are now going on to the next clubs and their next journeys. So first of all, Nathan Broadhead, what a player, what an honour, and, you know, to see him play and, you know, take us through the leagues as well. And, you know, the fact Mark Ashton managed to get £10 million for a player with 1 year left on his contract. You know, genius from Mark Ashton there. And Luke Weirin, obviously they're together doing their deals together and that. But the memories, man, what Brody gave us, you know, I think back to that League One season. That League One season, the promotion, he was the big promotion charge. We all remember it. We all remember that summer, that the Broadhead song was all in our head. You know, it was non-stop being played. It was on my Spotify, repeating. That was our theme, the Nathan Broadhead theme. I even remember at the park when we did the promotion thing or whatever. That was getting played, everyone singing along. But he was that guy, man. He made the difference. I think about Sheffield Wednesday, that pivotal moment there. That was a bit of a sliding doors moment. We didn't even know he could take free kicks, and he banged that. I think about Port Vale, the 2 goals there, the penalty in front of me, the other goal, you know, brilliant. And then the 16 championship goals, even things like, was it Blackburn away or Swansea away where we won 1-0? And again, Omari plays it through to him and he just dinks it over, you know. I think about, was it the Cardiff game where Sammy's played a really good ball to him. I think he said in the interview he'd missed a free kick, so he just smashed the ball, and I thought that net was going to come off. You know, he just, on his day, he was unplayable. Frustrating at times, but on his day, he was unplayable. And of course, you know, he got his 16 championship goals, joint top goal scorers for us in the championship season. And it was so nice to see him finally score in the Premier League. You know, something he deserved. A player I've been calling for to start for a long time. So to see him finally score in the Premier League and was able to celebrate that, all the rest of it, it was a really good feeling, man. So, yeah, Nathan Broadhead, not sure if you watch this or anything, but good luck in the future, apart from when you play us. And, you know, man, you'll go down like the rest of the band of brothers as a bit of a legend, man. And in Starboy, Omari Hutchinson. Omari, I know you, well, I hope you watch this, but I know you and the fan watch it as well. And I just want to say personally, man, it's been an absolute honour and a privilege to watch you develop as a player. I know certain town fans have gone a bit sour with you because of the way this transfer saga's gone on and all the rest of it, but look, that's football at the end of the day, right? And had you, you know, if you were playing or whatever on Sunday and you score a last-minute winner, they'll all be singing your name. But to see a player, because I remember seeing Omari Hutchinson for Arsenal under 21s when we lost to them. Did we lose with them that game? Or did we draw? I can't remember. We lost with them, and you saw, okay, this is a young talent. And I remember the name because there's a bit of a hype with him, with the skills and all that. With he did a video with Pele and all that, so there's a bit of a hype with him, a buzz online. Which for me sometimes isn't that great because it's like there's more of a buzz about your online presence than your football presence. So it's like, okay, let's see what he's like. And he looked raw, but you could see there was some real potential there. Then when we signed him, it was like, okay, he's not played at men's football before. It might be a bit of a risk, but we took him on loan. McKenna coached him, and he got his head down. And from what I know, he's a person that does extras. And we saw him in that championship season, and what a season it was. You know, just like Brody, just like Sammy, big reason we got promoted. Without him, we don't go up. That I firmly believe that. You know, the goal at Southampton away, his first goal, you know, what a way that was, you know, and that was what impressed me about him because he was a tricky winger and he's like this young lad coming in. You think, oh, he's going to be a bit lightweight. Like, no disrespect, but like, look at Jack Clark, man. Jack Clark, you sneeze and Jack Clark will fall over. Whereas like Omari, he was in the championship, you know, a very physical league, one of the most competitive leagues, right? And he was running back and barging man off and getting the ball back and winning that back and, you know, really battling, man. And I really love to see it. And I remember, you know, we remember the clutch goals. We called him Omari Hutchinson, Rotherham, Birmingham, all of that. The top bin goals against Hull and stuff like that. You know, he's done it. Sheffield Wednesday away, at home. Was the second last game of the season, tore them apart. You know, really tricky player. The last player I can remember that really got me excited like that was Roycer or Kieran Dyer. And yeah, there are things that weren't brilliant and he improved. And then in the Premier League, you know, we've seen him, you know, score a worldie against Man United at home. You know, help us beat Chelsea at home with his goal and assist. And then obviously, did he score? Yeah, he scored at Tottenham at home as well. The Tottenham away game, man of the match, you know, for me, without him in that game, we don't get that 3 points, right? He ran that show. And I know as fans, we sometimes just look at the numbers and we forget the performances. And I know there'll be some fans that are upset about the way the Omari situation's handled. The only thing I'll say is respectfully, you don't know what's going on. And, you know, this deal is best for everybody. It's a lot of money for us to reinvest. We know we're a player trading club. We know that's the model. So I don't get the issue. I remember walking out, was it after the Swansea game in the Championship? Me, Sammy, May, and Bill Castro. And we were walking out, talking to Omari and his dad. And I was saying at that point, look, come back to us next season. Please come back next season. You know, because I could see he's massive. His ceiling's massive. And from what I understand, that, you know, I'm not saying the Cali influence helped, but I think, you know, the fact that he was showed so much love by the fans and all the rest of it was a big reason why he turned down, because there was a legit offer from a Bundesliga team and a Serie A team. He chose Ipswich because he felt something. And I know some of you will be saying, well, he pulled out the friendlies, this, that, and the other. I mean, do we forget that he played in the Charlton friendly? Alexa, turn off, man.
Did you mean TV?
No, off.
Sorry, I didn't find a group or device.
Alexa, banjod off karo. See, if you speak Punjabi to Alexa, it works. But yeah, I know that like the friendly, yeah. So he played it against Charlton, and then he didn't go to Auxerre to France because you know he's not in the right frame of mind. Listen, we've all had days like that when we ain't gone into the office because we ain't been in the right frame of mind. I don't agree with people saying, well, he's a footballer, he deserves, you know, he shouldn't have that, he's got all the money in the world. Money don't make you happy, you know what I mean? If you think money is the cause of happiness, then my friends, you don't understand. And it doesn't matter how much money you got, it doesn't matter how famous you got. People get, you know, people have mental challenges, people can get depressed and all that. And let's look what happened in that Auxerre game. Connor Townsend's season done from that game. Philogene gone missing because of that game. So what? We would have risked it. Omari could have potentially had an injury, maybe even a season injury. Forget putting his season back, right? Because that's his season. Say Omari got ruled out for a season then. Where are we making that 40 million then? Because no one's buying an injured player, right? You got to think about the club there. So look, it's not so long ago that Game Changer 20 bought this club for £40 million and we're about to sell one player for almost that. So you may not be happy with the way it's happened, but look, it was inevitable. If you think that Omari was going to stay in the Championship, then I think you're just kidding yourselves. You know, I did call him going to Forest a long time ago, way before Fabrizio. Don't believe me? Look, here's Fabrizio's tweet. Yeah, see the date there? And look what I tweeted and when I tweeted it. I'm just saying, man. Mr. Marinakis or Marinakis, he must be watching my Twitter. That's all I can say. But yeah, listen, let's not get onto the lad. You know, he's done a lot for us, our club. He's a big reason we got promoted to the Premier League. You may not be happy the way it ended, but it was always inevitable. It's just new to us because we're not used to having, you know, selling our players to people that actually want our players. Do you know what I mean? So, look, Omari, if you're watching, brother, thank you for the memories and just thank you for everything you've done for town, the love that you've shown the fans, you know, me personally, my family personally as well, you know, giving me some experiences and some memories that, you know, money can't buy. But also just as a top person as well, grounded, very nice guy, you know, the fans that are onto him have never had a conversation with him. That's all I can say. And what you realise is why Omari's like that, why he is such a grounded person, why he's, you know, takes time for everyone, all the rest of it. Although I'm still waiting for those Christian Dior trainers I saw him wear once, but you know, that's another conversation. But yeah, you realise it's purely because of the family as well. Like, he's got such a good family around him. Big up the whole Omari Hutchinson family, and you know, I know that they'll be looking out for Ipswich, and I know what Ipswich Town meant to Omari and the family as well. And yo, Hutchinson gang, if you're watching, and Omari, you want to get a message out to the town fans, you know where to come. We'll do the video. Just shout me, brother. But yeah, man, good luck at Forest, which looks to be going through. And yeah, man, just town fans, wishing the best of luck. Let's not call him all the dumb names and all the rest of it. We're better than that, man. So yeah, man, hopefully you found that video, you know, useful and full of information. And of course, my thoughts on the Omari and Broadhead transfers, which is why the video was a bit longer than usual. And someone is at the front door. Someone's ringing the bell. I gotta go. Catch you later, people.